Very good afternoon to one and all. Myself, Dr. Siddhaya. Uh, we have been discussing about insect, that is entomology, insects related to insects. Study of insects is known as entomology. In that, uh, we are discussing about applied entomology, and we have been discussed about uh, entomology. What is entomology? What is applied entomology? And the classification of insects. And in the last session, we have also discussed about uh, morphology, insect morphology, that is head and thorax and abdomen. So today I would like to talk about a more important topic, that is sericulture. As you know, as all of you know, the sericulture is rearing of the Bombyx mori. Rearing of the Bombyx mori means rearing of silkworms. Rearing of silkworms is known as sericulture, and sericulture is being one of the emerging subject area, economically more important area to earn money. So uh, in this we will discuss about history of sericulture and morphology of mulberry plants and taxonomy of mulberry and soils and preparation of land and propagation of mulberry and cultivation and culture practice and manure fertilizer and uh, farm related to plant and related to biology of silkworm. Okay, biology of silkworm is I will more emphasize on biology of silkworm. In this biology of silkworm, we will discuss about introduction of its systematic position and life cycle of Bombyx mori, structure of egg, larva, pupa, and moth, external morphology of all these stages, and we will also discuss about sexual dimorphism of the uh, egg, pupa, as well as larva and adult. Also, we will how to if you take any stages of the silkworm, you can able to identify after this session. So after this, we will discuss about silkworm seed production and organization and grainage house and equipments and silkworm breeds. What are the various types of breeds are uh, there in the sericulture field. And after that, we will discuss about drainage process, mother moth examination. We will use diseased free uh, adult and larvae. So the more important thing is that we must use diseased free larvae and adults also. So mother moth examination is very important, and silkworm egg handling, how to handle the silkworm egg and preparation of loose and sheet egg surface sterilization. All these things will be discussed in this particular session. Okay, the rearing or culture of the silkworm larvae is known as sericulture, and in this sericulture, the very important thing is that uh, you must know about the all the stages of the sericulture worm, particularly uh, the larva. Sericulture is an agro-based industry. It involves rearing of silkworms for the production of raw silk, which is yarn obtained out of cocoons spun by certain species of insects. The major activities of sericulture comprises of food plant cultivation to feed the silkworm. Okay, this sericulture includes moriculture. So moriculture is one of the other important uh, area or stage, which is very important for the sericulture process. So moriculture means uh, farming of Morus alba, means plant, which in on which sericulture insect, that is our mori, Bombyx mori, feeds. Okay, Bombyx mori feeds upon this mori or Bombay mori plant, Morus alba. So the several commercial species of silkworms are available. One of the most important species is that Bombyx mori is the most widely used and intensively studied. And according to the Confucian text, the discovery of silk production, Bombyx mori, dates about 2700 BC. Although archaeological records pointed out that silk cultivation as early as the Yangshuo period of uh, 5000 to 10,000, that is China. Okay, first of all, these sericulture was there at China. Then after then, it came to India by traveling of this Chinese uh, kings. Along with the kings, the sericulture also traveled along with the Chinese countries to our India. Later, it was introduced into Europe. Okay, on the path, it has been introduced into Europe, Mediterranean, and Asiatic countries like our India, and different types of uh, countries are involved at this first time, like China, Japan, India. The major countries, very contributing countries are China, Japan, India, Korea, Brazil, Russia, Italy, and France. These are the major countries which are being contributed the sericulture, the silk in the field of sericulture. And India are the two main producers uh, together, manufacturing more than 90 percentage the world production each year. China and the India together, China, India producing is being produced uh, 90 percentage. 90 percentage of silk is being produced by only two countries, none other than China and India. And what is silk? Man is always inquisitive for silk production. Silk, the queen of textiles. Okay, silk also known as queen of textiles, spells luxury, elegance, class, and comfort. Mankind has always loved these shimmering fibers of silkworm. Chinese emperors styling tea discovered it have tea cut, it which stood many of challenges after the challenges has been introduced into the other countries. Chemically speaking, silk is made up of proteins secreted in the fluid stage by a caterpillar, that is silkworm larva. Uh, Before going to detail, I would like to shorten about the silkworm's life cycle. After mating, male and female adults, which are having wings, uh, male will be died after mating. After mating, female lays eggs. Then female also, after mating, female lays eggs. Then female also will undergo the diet. So after 24 hours, egg will emerge out, and then after few days and weeks, the silkworm larva, after one stages, it undergoes the pupation. After larval stage, after having more different molds, okay, five instars will be there in the larval stage. Four molds are there. Molds means shedding of skin. The molds nothing but after shedding, after certain period, after a certain stage which reaches in the particular stage, it sheds off its cuticle layer. So four molds will be there, and five instars will be there. After fifth instar, it will convert into uh, pupae, okay, which is not take any food. And after pupae, after 1 week to 10 days, it will emerge out as a adult. This is simplified life cycle. And from the larvae, Okay, at the time of pupation, it gives silk thread, which spin around the body to protect it from the other enemies, like predators, and popularly known as silkworm. The larva is popularly known as silkworm. These silkworms feed on the selected food plants. The silkworm cannot feed on other plants, which is very selectively. And finally, larvae spin cocoons as a protective shell. As I told you earlier, it is a protective shell to perpetuate the life. Okay, to saving the life, it spin the cocoon, spin the shell around the body. That is that which is called as cocoon. The silkworm has four stages in its life cycle. That is egg, caterpillar, larvae, pupa, and moth. Main interferes this life cycle at the cocoon stage to obtain the silk. Okay, in which stage we will obtain the silk? Cocoon stage. Very, very important stage is that cocoon stage. Uh, a continuous filament of commercial importance used in weaving of the dream fabrics. Okay, which is very, very popular, economically important. That is silk thread. Why sericulture? Sericulture is why sericulture is needed. The major benefit of the sericulture, especially Tassar, is the employment generation to the people, especially in the forest area like tribal. Very important thing is that by doing sericulture activities, finally, farmer earn money. Okay, but in the tribal areas, very important silkworm moth is known as tassar type of silk is available at the tribal areas, which is in the forest. So tribes used to uh, culture these tassar type of silk and earn money. High employment potential is there with this sericulture. Uh, about 60 to 100 lakh persons are engaged in various sericulture activities in the country. So assume the 60 to 100 lakh persons are involving uh, in this area of field, sericulture. It is estimated that sericulture can generate employment at the rate 11 man days per kg of raw silk production. How is it important? So this potential is for excellence, and no other industry generates this kind of employment, especially in rural areas. And sericulture is used to a tool for rural economy empowerment or implementation. So giving employment it is very, very uh, important. It play a very major role and provides vibrancy to village economies and low gestation and high returns. Mulberry takes only 6 months to grow. Mulberry plants are very particular and peculiar and which are important to play a key role in the sericulture. Oh, because sericulture moth or a larva, sericulture larva, there is Bombyx mori larva, only feeds upon this mulberry plant. Okay, mulberry plants only takes sericulture. In the sericulture, this larva only takes mulberry leaves. Other plants leaves cannot taken up by this mulberry, this silkworm larva. Mulberry once planted will go on supporting silkworm rearing year after year for 15 to 20 years. So see how the mulberry is takes a pivotal role in agriculture. If you planted one time, you cannot bother about 15 to 20 years. Okay, so for food supply, to the silkworms. And five crops can be taken in 1 year under tropical condition. This is a very, very important point. By adopting stipulated package of practices, a farmer can attain net income levels up to 50,000 per acre per annum. Okay, this is minimum amount, maximum up to 1 lakh. Also, the people or farmers are earning. So, hard-working farmers with proper maintaining and inputs can reach up to an income, year income, annum income of 2 lakh per year from one area or 1 acre. Uh, See how the agriculture impacting the farmer's economy. The farmer can, the skilled agriculture farmer can earn up to 2 lakh per annum. We have uh, met with different types of farmers which are very skilled uh, personals in the area of agriculture. They have told us that they are earning 1.5 lakh to 2 lakh per annum. So this is very, very important for the rural area farmers. Women friendly occupation. This is also very, very important point. Women constitute over 60% of those employed in downstream activities of sericulture in the country. This is possible because sericulture activities, starting from the mulberry garden, women can be used, women services can be used in moriculture, that is mulberry garden management, leaf harvesting, that is leaf collecting, cutting. At the time of leaf harvesting, also women uh, work is needed. And silkworm rearing, okay, very important stage. Silkworm rearing also in that particular stage, also the women empowerment is needed. So it's more effectively taken up by the women folk because they are very patient, they are having very patience than uh, man. So they care about these sensitive silkworms. Even silk reeling industry, including weaving, is 100% supported by them. Okay, we have visited the weaving centers at Jangaon, where exactly most of the staff, which who are working uh, in the industries, are 80 percentage of them are women. See the women friendly occupation, how the this helps to women. And next point is that ideal program for weaker section of the society. This is very useful for the weaker societies and weaker sections. Agriculture can be practiced even with very low land holdings. Okay, who are bothering from having the low landering, they can also able to have these type of sericulture in the least land which is needed. So 1 acre of land is enough for the mulberry garden. In that mulberry garden, silkworm rearing can be supported by this uh, area by having or hiring few members of labor. Okay, this is very, very easy to maintain or manage. The features such as low gestation, high returns make sericulture an ideal program for weaker sections of the society. Having the low gestation period, gestation means life cycle. Okay, giving birth. Okay. Gestation in the short span of time, female lay eggs, and in the sharp uh, span of time, egg will give larvae. In the short span of time, larvae will develop by voracious feeding. After that, cocoon will form by last instar larvae. So every step is accurately being maintained. So vast tracts of forest based tassar food plantation available in the country, if judiciously exploited for the rearing tassar silkworm. This is for the tribals, okay, where exactly this plantation, Tassar food will be uh, more uh, concentrated at that forest. Can offer supplementary grainful of tribes. So at the tribe, this is for only tribes. As a perennial crop with good foliage and root spread, mulberry contributes to soil conservation and provide green cover. This is a perennial crop which prevent the erosion, soil erosion, and which will make the land as a green uh, area. Okay, dried mulberry twigs and branches are used to fuel in place of firewood and therefore reduce the pressure of vegetation forest. After having cut these dried mulberry uh, stems and other parts can be used as a uh, source for the different types of human activities. Being labor intensive and predominantly agro-based activity, involvement of smoke emitting, sorry, machinery is minimal. So everything will be minimum with minimum tools and techniques. Uh, Without high skillful persons can also manage this sericulture and warm rearing. And development program initiated for mulberry plantation are mainly in a planned areas where uh, unused cultivable and land is made productive. Unusable land also can be used. Uh, those are having unused, not fit for our agriculture. That type of lands also fit for the sericulture and moriculture purposes. Mulberry can also be cultivated as intercrop with numerous plantation. Uh, you cannot culture the mulberry only. It also can be cultured as an intercrop. So don't bother. You cannot bother about the having the different types of issues. Mulberry being a deep-rooted perennial plant can be raised in vacant lands. You can uh, it cannot uh, you should not plant in the fertile uh, lands because it's mulberry plant is a perennial plant. It can be grow in with a simplified water supply and everything. Hilly slopes and watershed areas. Okay, every land also the minimum mineral areas also be used for this moriculture and satisfies equity concerns. Benefits of sectorial value additions primarily occur to rural households as the end product users are mostly from the higher economic groups and money flows from high end groups to low end groups. Okay, this is economically very important area. Uh, it is the cases of landless families engaged in the cocoon production using mulberry contracted from the local farmers. Okay, they buy the uh, cocoons from the farmers and they start business with the weaving and etc. etc. Mulberry farming is also done on community government leads, so government lands where the landless are given limited rights to cultivate mulberry. If you are not having a land for the moriculture, sericulture shed, government will give you land, charter land, which is very which is enough to culture the mulberry trees, and which is enough for the culturing the silkworms, rearing the silkworms. So types of silkworms are there. Different types of silkworms are there throughout the world. There are four major types of silkworms are commercially important. All not, but the silkworms are very uh, ve- ve- four very important silkworms are there. Not all. So obtain different species of silkworms, which in turn feed on a number of food plants. There are uh, mulberry. First one is mulberry. Second one is oak tassar or tropical tassar. The third one is muga. Fourth one is that Eri. Okay, these are the four silkworms, very, very commercially very important types. And the common name of the uh, mulberry silkworm is a mulberry silkworm, and scientific name is that Bombyx mori. Okay, origin of the Bombyx mori, first time in the China, this Chinese species, and the primary food plants Morus indica, Morus alba, Morus multiculatus, Morus bombicus. These are the plants on which this particular silkworm feeds. So Morus indica, all these are mulberry plants. The only name itself indicating that mulberry silkworm means it feeds on only mulberry plants, not other plants. And second type of silkworm, tropical tussar silkworm. The common name of this is that tussar silkworm. The scientific name of tussar silkworm is that Antheria mylitta. Antheria mylitta is a scientific name of tussar silkworm. So the origin of this tussar silkworm is that India. India is where exactly this tussar silkworm first of all found origin. India. Okay, it feeds upon Shoria robusta, Terminalia arjuna, Terminalia tomentosa, or the plants of where uh, which exactly these tropical tassar silkworm feeds. What are they? Shoria robusta, Terminalia tomentosa, Terminalia arjuna. These are the plants on which this tassar silkworm feeds. And next one is that oak tassar silkworm is the common name is oak tassar silkworm, and scientific name is that Antheria proili. Antheria proili is the scientific name of oak tassar silkworm. Origin is that India. Uh, Plants on which this oak tassar worm silkworm feeds. Those are Quercus incana, Quercus serrata, Quercus himalayan. These are the plants, Quercus plants, on which this particular oak tassar silkworm feeds upon. So uh, next, Muga silkworm. Muga silkworm scientific name is that Antheria assama. Antheria assama is the scientific name of Muga silkworm, which is originated from India. The plants on which Muga silkworm feeds upon are Listia, Litsia polyantha, Litsia serrata, Machilus bombicini. These are the plants on which exactly Muga silkworm feeds upon. Okay, and coming to the last one is that Aries silkworm. Aries silkworm scientific name is that Phylozoma resini. Phylozoma resini is the Aries silkworm scientific name, originated from India. Uh, the plants on which exactly Aries silkworm feeds upon are Ricinus communis, manhate, Utslia, Evodia fragrans. Okay, manihot, Utilisma, Evodia fragrance. All these are the other Indian rural regional terminologies. Ricinus communis is a plant name, and Manihot utilisma, and second plant. Evodia fragrans is third plant on which these iris silkworm feeds on. And coming to the classification based on the occurrence, is that domesticated, whether the silkworm are domesticated or wild, based upon these two criteria. There are two types are there. The first one is the domesticated uh, mulberry or domesticated silkworms. The mulberry silkworm also domesticated, and tassar, rare tassar also domesticated. These two types of silkworm, among the four, these two types of silkworms are domesticated. And coming to the wild type, tassar, moga, and iri. Okay, moga and iri are wild type, which cannot rearable. Uh, we can collect the all the eggs or like cocoons from the wild forest only. We cannot rear at the particular area. We cannot manage this type of wild types like muga and iri. Okay, we can only able to culture the mulberry and rare tassar. Wild silks are also called vanya silk. This is very very important terminology. Wild silks also be called as vanya silk. And classification based on the eco race. Okay, eco races. Okay, these the mulberry race is one of the rare race, and various geographical varieties are there in mulberry. The different types of names are there in mulberry plants. And come to the classification based on life cycles per year. How many life cycles are having in one silkworm? Okay, based upon this criteria, the names are differ. They have classified, scientists are classified the silkworms into three categories. One is that multivoltine. It takes more than two life cycle. It has more than two life cycle per year. Multi, more than two. Okay, multi means more than two. Mulberry and tassar in central and south India acts as a multi-volatile. Okay, mulberry and tassar are multi-volatile. And coming to the second type, that is bivolatile, by itself indicating that two life cycle. If the life, if the sericulture worm is having two life cycle or giving two life cycle in a year, are known as bivolatiles. Tassar in tropical area, mulberry in tropical areas, as in improved variety, or acts as a bivolatiles. And we have another and last and not but least third type is univoltine type of silkworm. One life cycle is there, only one life cycle will be there in its life cycle. Oak, tassar, and mulberry in temperate areas. Okay, like Kashmir, Himachal Pradesh, China. Okay, pure mulberry silkworm only able to give one life cycle. They not more than one. So that silkworm is known as uni means single, which is giving single or only one life cycle in year. So this is about the classification based upon the life cycles per year, and stages of production. Okay, how many stages are there? We will discuss. Uh, through all four types of silkworm have different food plants and agroclinical zone, but has basic life cycle is almost the same. Okay, all four types of silkworms are almost all having same life cycle in its uh, life cycle stages. The stages of production are as follows: the silk moth lays eggs. First stage, silk moth lays eggs. The female silk moth lays eggs after mating. When the eggs hatch, the caterpillar are fed food plant leaves. Like a simple caterpillar, we can also call as ant. Okay, it looks like small ant. After emerging from the egg, if you find the small larvae, first larvae from the egg, it look like a ant. Okay, they have given name as a ant for first emerged larva. When the silkworm are about 25 days old, they are they are 10,000 times heavier than when they hatched. Look at this. After 25 days, with compared to the first emerged larvae gain 10,000 uh, times weight than the first stage larva. During the feeding period, the silkworm goes 4 to 5 times based upon the type of silkworm, having molds in between the stages, larval stages, which are known as instars, and shed properly periodically. It sheds its skin to grow uh, faster and full size. So this is very very important. They are now ready to spin after having the different stages of larval food taking stage. Finally, stops food taking and convert into the pupa, which is very very important stage in which last larvae spin cocoon around its body and convert as a pupa. So the silk solidifies when it comes in contact with the air. The silkworm spins approximately 0.8 kilometer to 1.5 kilometer. Oh, see, 1.5 kilometer single thread will be there in one cocoon. Look at this. The filament and completely encloses itself in a cocoon in about 2 or 3 days, which is spun by silkworm final larva, which has 0.8 to 1.5 kilometer, spun in the short span of time, that is 3 days. Up to 3 days, 2 to 3 days, it will finish up the spinning the larva, spinning the cocoon around its body. The silk is obtained from the undamaged cocoons. Okay, this is very very important point. Undamaged undamaged cocoons are needed for healthy silk thread gaining. So the process in which the cocoons give is known as boiling. By the boiling, the cocoons will give thread and outside the end of the filament. The live pupa inside cocoon dies due to the boiling. Uh, Till emerging, the pupa will be live. Before emerging of the adult, we must taken up the silk thread. So due to the boiling, pupae will be die, and the silk filaments are then wound on a reel. The silk at this stage is known as raw silk. Okay, this stage, the silk thread is known as raw silk. Okay, raw silk. In order to contribute to the life cycle, not all cocoons are boiled and drilled. Some good cocoons are preserved and the moth is allowed to come out and lay eggs so that the life cycles is continued for the next crop or season. Okay, this is how the life cycles of the uh, silkworm is maintained. And trends in India's agriculture over the last 6 decades, Indian silk industry has registered an impressive growth both horizontally and vertically. Plans, plans and schemes implemented by central and state agencies and relentless efforts of thousands of dedicated persons in the fields of research and extension have helped in this context. For instance, the age-old multivoltine hybrids have been replaced by multivoltine crossed with bivoltine, and bivoltine hybrids are gained. The sericulture industry has witnesses a quantum jump, a raw silk productivity. The average yield of 25 kgs of cocoon per 100 DFLS, diseased-free layers, larvae. DFLS means diseased-free larvae. In the recent past, has increased and currently the average yields are the range of 60 to 65 kgs. per 100 DFLS are found. The new technology, besides doubling yields, has also led to quantitative improvement in cocoon production with considerably reduced rendita. Rendita is calculation of the cocoons, which is very, very important, play a key role at the market. By using rendita formula, they collect, they take cocoons from the farmers. They buy the cocoons from the farmers by seeing its rendita. Has also helped break the climate barrier. The market share of India's silk export in the global silk trade is 4 to 5%. It is not significant considering the fact that India is the second largest producer of raw silk. Though the India is second largest producer, but not reaching up to more than 5% of uh, uh, giving not more than 4 to 5% of significant export in throughout the world. This is because India has a large domestic market for silk goods, and about 80% of silk goods produced are sold in domestic market. Okay, domestic markets are there at the rural areas. However, India exports approximately 15% of its output of all the types of silk goods, including value added items. The export of India silk produces products consist of finished goods like fabrics, made ups, and ready-made garments, and furnishing materials like curtains, carpets, bedspreads, cushions, covers, etc., etc., are being exported by the India. The export of silk products has been showing a steady growth, and the export earning showed a rapid increase during the last decade. Okay, from the last decade, uh, by knowing the value of the sericulture, the farmers are coming forward to rearing the sericulture. That's why our exporting percentage will be is being increased day to day, year to year. So, research and development achievements like development of indigenous mulberry varieties with highest leaf yields. Okay, mulberry technology, by using these technology, research and development, uh, mulberry plants also very healthy. New biovalt and silkworms also introduced, eminently suited to tropical regions, which are very, very uh, playing a key role, improving the percentage of silk percentage exchange. Farmer friendly technologies are came, cost effective new packages of practices for cultivation of food plants, rearing and reeling, coupled with the huge natural and man made resources and trained manpower, clearly indicates the future prospects of sericulture industry to emerge a promising indicator of economic development for the upliftment of the social deprived communities and downtrodden. The strengths and weakness, opportunities, of challenges of India's silk industry have been given below. The strength is that large production base, okay, availability of silks, land, and labor is one of the strength point. Another strength is that we have established infrastructure is there, availability of silkworm breeds are there, hybrids are there available. These are also one of the strength point. Low investment, short gestation period, and higher returns are also one of the strength point. Easily adaptable technologies and a strong domesticated demand pull is one of the strength point. And coming to the weakness of the uh, industry is that gaps in technology transfer. Okay, means laboratory to land. Applications are application of technology into the land from the laboratory is one of the drawbacks, and land adequate market accessibility, okay, and poor linkage among the different stakeholders is one of the weakness point to improving the sericulture field industry. Decentralized nature of the industry inhibits financial institutes from the extending financial support to the sector, which is also one of the weakness point. Lack of quality based pricing system in the market. Okay, pricing system is very poor and bad in India. So pricing system will be modified as according to the uh, need of the farmers. So this is also one of the uh, drawback point, weakness point. And frequent price fluctuations will be there. Okay, frequent fluctuations. Today 70 per 70 700 per kg. Tomorrow 500 kg. After tomorrow 100 200 kg also be there. Frequent fluctuations and large scale import from China at low prices. Okay, large scale imports will be there from the China. China imports from the China. Uh, our industries importing the cocoons with compared to the low price. Okay, in India, we will if we give 100, they are giving 100 200 per kg. So our industrialists are very uh, showing interest to imports from the China. What are the opportunities? Generation of rural employment is there, and reduction of migration to urban areas will be possible. La- Liberalization policies of government of India in line with WTO agreement is there. Is one of the opportunity. Everyone can uh, culture the larvae. Reduction of production of silk even by traditional silk countries like Japan, USSR, etc., etc. is one of the opportunity. And government exports are on the steady increase with huge employment opportunities. Also one of the opportunity point. And what are the threats? Threats also be there in agriculture. Heavy dumping from China at low price is one of the threats to our sericulture industry. Is very dangerous point. And another threat is that unpredictability of China's silk policies. Okay, we cannot predict the China's silk policies. That is also one of the threat for our Indian silk industry. Inability of silk industry to react and adapt to the changing needs in terms of quality, both for the domestic and export markets. Uh, Government should be uh, take initiation upon this point. Lack of awareness in the domestic market to respond to the demand driven melee. This is also one of the certain point. Okay, uh, all these about the sericulture, economy, life cycle. So if you have any doubts, you can ask now. If you have any doubts regarding introduction of sericulture and types of silkworms and types what is moriculture and the classification of silkworm depends upon different criteria. You can ask about the uh, economy economical importance of the sericulture. All these points are were discussed. So if you have any doubts in these areas regarding these points, you can ask. Yeah. If you are not having any doubts, I will move forward. Mm, we will discuss about brief about each and every uh, silk worms. So first we will start with Vanya silk. Okay? Vanya silk, Eri silk, also known as Endi or Erandi. This silk is produced by the Eri silkworm. It is Phylloxera racini. These worms feed mainly on castor and keseru. Okay, these are the silkworms. As eerie cocoons are open-ended, the yarn is spun. Interestingly, in many parts of the northern east, eerie cocoons are produced for their edible pupae, and silk is the byproduct. A very very interesting thing is that they rear for the pupae, which is very very important, nutritious, proteinaceous food. Uh, Finally, after having the pupae taken up from the cocoon, they after the uh, pupae taking, they use silk thread for the different purposes as byproduct. Though elegantly designed Irish shawls and chadars are quite popular because of their thermal properties. They can be blended with cotton, wool, jute, or even mulberry silk to create exotic fabrics for use in jackets, suiting materials for producing a variety of furnishing, making interior decorators delight. It is also called non-violent silk as pupa is allowed to develop and come out as a moth because airy is fun and not reeled. So after emerging non-violent, okay, non-violent also called as non-violent. In other cocoons, we must kill the pupae. In this type of airy silk worm rearing, we would not want to kill the pupa for the having the silk thread. So this is one of the non-violent. And coming to the tassar silk is produced by tassar silkworm, that is Antheria milita and Antheria proili, that feeds mainly on the leaves of asan, Arjun plant and oak plants. Okay, Arjun plant and oak plants are the important plants which uh, which is which tassar silkworm feeds upon. India is the second largest producer of tassar silk and the exclusive producer of India tassar, also known as tropical tassar. This tassar also known as tropical tassar, which is largely tended by tribals in the Gondwana belt. Oak tassar, also known as temperate tassar, is mainly used for furnishing dress materials and saris. Bomkai, Paithani, Ikhat. Okay, Ikhat saris, Python saris, and Bomkai saris and or cloths will be produced by these tassar plants, silkworm. Katki or some popular fabrics. Katki also one of the popular fabrics along with Bomkai, Python, Ikat. So, uh, Bafta is a popular blend of tassar and cotton. Bafta. Shawls and mufflers are also produced using blended oak tassar and other natural fibers like wool, cotton, etc. etc. Tassar silk is ideal for making jackets for men and women. Traditional customers like a salwar kurta can be made by this tassar. This silk can be styled into beautiful dresses, shawls, and scales and different types. Tassar fabric can also be printed, hand printed, or even embroideries into traditional sarees and beautiful dress materials. In fact, in India, it is said that a bride's trazu is never complete without a saree made of tassar silk. So see the importance of tassar silk. Even one marriage uh, cannot be done by using this tassar silk sarees. So very interesting. The next Muga silk, the pride of India. Muga silk is known as natural shimmering golden color. Production is confined to Assam, border areas of neighboring northern states, and Cooch Bihar in West Bengal. It is produced by the Muga silkworm and Theria assamiensis, which feeds upon some Som plant and Salu plant. Okay, the plants name are Som and Salu. The most expensive of silk, Muga, is intrinsically woven into cultural traditions of the people of the Assam. The vibrant Salkushia saris and Mukhala, Chandras, Chaddars are traditional items made from the Muga silk. In recent times, fashion designers have found excitingly proposed perfect in Muga silk for developing new products and designs. Use of Muga yarn, substitute for Jari saris in saris finds for favor with the reputed weaver. Sorry. Uh, with this, I am going to wind up this lesson. Sorry for the inconvenience. So, if you have any doubts, you can ask now. We will discuss next topic in our next uh, session next week. So, uh, this is about entire things about sericulture. Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much.